Former President Trump came to show their support at his hush money trial in New York today, including North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum. A group of Republicans outside the courthouse also included House Speaker Mike Johnson, former presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy, and 2 Florida representatives. Trump has pleaded not guilty to 34 counts of falsifying business records. The Republicans, echoing Trump, call the trial a sham and a joke.
President Trump is leading by huge double digits versus Joe Biden, and the sooner that this scam trial can be concluded, the sooner that the president can get back to getting out campaigning and talking to the American people about the issues that matter to them.
Recent reports have shown Governor Burgum moving up Trump's short list for potentially vice president, or at least a cabinet position, although Burgum has continuously denied those reports when asked.